podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Join us this week on Sosbans and Sidesteps as we break down the gut-wrenching loss to the Bulls, pick through the bones of what PRA 25 might mean for us, and preview a game we are really not looking forward to in the Electric Brewery field. I will not say the name of the team. Hello and welcome to the Sosbans and Sidesteps podcast with myself, John Newith. And are you happy? Are you happy that I'm John Newith?
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
And I'm here with Mr. HG Rugby. That's Hugh Griffin. How are you, Hugh?
Hello. Yeah, it's just us two again. Unfortunately, Mart is unavailable. Shout out, Mart. Hope to speak to you again next week, mate, or week after, because we're not recording next week. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Considering that it took about 2 days to pick up my broken, shattered heart up off the floor after that game, I'm feeling all right.
Were you more sad after this one than you were Cardiff, or less sad?
That is a wonderful question that I really don't want to answer. I think I was more sad after this one.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I wasn't. I was more sad after Cardiff because we lost. We had something and we lost it. And I know we were in the lead against the Bulls, but I was like, at least we played well. You know, I was fed up after Cardiff. I don't know if sad is the right. I was more like kicking the corners of coffee tables after Cardiff. I was kind of like against this one, especially because I do a podcast with a Bulls fan, and the fight that I have to fight in order for him to even acknowledge Welsh rugby's existence. You know, he didn't know who Ken Owens was. I was telling a story about Ken Owens, and he was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "How very dare you!"
Did you tell him about the open top sports car going around Carmarthen?
No.
Now, see, if you tell him about the sheriff, once you explain that background of it, it's very hard to forget who Ken Owens is.
But the thing is, because Werner Kroyer is still at the Bulls, and he met Werner Kroyer after I told him about Ken Owens, and he kind of went off the cuff, went to Werner Kroyer. Do you know who Ken Owens is? And Werner Kroyer was like, "Yes, obviously. How dare you?"
The best number 8 to ever pull on a shirt.
Yeah, the Scarlet's greatest ever number 8, and other things. Shout out, Werner Kroyer was back at the park this week. He signed the wall for some reason.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a nice touch. Yeah, it was nice to have him over.
Yeah,
but yeah. So
apparently he's very shy. I've tried to get him on podcast. He's very shy.
You were probably getting it in both barrels on WhatsApp then during the game.
No, because we were rattling them.
That's probably why I was frustrated after the Cardiff game, because like you said, we had it and we lost it. Whereas I felt like there were so many opportunities for us to take this game. And they passed us by, is how I would say. I'm not saying we wouldn't take them, because it was little knock-ons or something, or this, that, or the other. It just felt so close the entire time.
The fact is that we missed all 3 conversions. If we'd got 2 out of the 3, we'd have won. The Bulls got lucky. And I think Ackerman, in his post-match interview, he didn't say that, but he was like, "I'm just glad that we got the win and we're going back to South Africa with a W in the bag." You know, I can live with it because we got unlucky and they got lucky. And look, we weren't going to win the URC anyway. Newsflash. So I'm like, we haven't lost anything for me, so I can process it. That's how I can process it.
You're in the acceptance part of grief, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I just think, I know it's it's not stupid, but I really liked that we had the record over the Bulls at the park, and I am sad that we've lost that.
Yeah, I really would have rubbed it in his face if we'd have won.
Yeah, exactly. We all know a South African that we want to bring that stat out against. I mean, I love talking rugby with Saffers, but it's just a little bit more fun when you can rub something about it in their face. And since the autumn, there haven't really been many things I've been able to say to any of them. So,
No.
yeah, the high ground is well and truly lost until next season. So, yeah, it's frustrating. But other than that, I felt like we came at the game with a lot of energy. I thought the tactics were good. I mean, I was watching most of it live. Were you able to watch it live? Did you catch it live?
I caught the second half live.
Okay.
I was out during the first half.
Out on the town.
No,
Shots, pints.
I went down to Bristol to watch Cymru versus England's Ashton Gates in the Women's Six Nations, which I mostly enjoyed. I won't go back to Bristol. I've been to Ashton Gate twice now to watch rugby, women's rugby specifically, and had a bad experience both times.
Why?
The stewards were useless. I didn't get to my seat until 20 minutes in. Uh, we like when you get into the stadium and you show your ticket and the steward goes, "Hey, it's over there."
Hmm.
He did that, and we went to it, and where like the seat numbers that should have been ours, there was people sat in them. So I was like, okay. So I was there with me, my fiance, my mum, and my dad. And my mum and dad aren't used to going to rugby games. I think this is the first rugby game that I've actually been to with them. And I was like, right, okay, I don't want to have a fight with people. And there was 4 seats free, so we was like, let's just sit here, and what happens happens. And eventually, obviously, people came along and said, this is our seats. But the reason that like we were all late getting to the seats was there was a cock up with the parking. Parking at Ashton Gate is basically non-existent. It's an absolute nightmare. So we had to get an Uber, and there was a drama with the Uber driver and stuff, blah blah blah. Anyway, we got there about 10 minutes from kickoff. The anthems were going on while we were still in the queue outside the stadium.
Oh, I hate that. Nothing worse.
And there was a massive queue that basically wasn't moving. And then we got around the corner, and there was 4 turnstiles. But because the queue was like round the corner, and you couldn't see that, so everyone thought they were queuing for just one turnstile. So there was just one queue.
Oh, right.
And there was no steward saying, yeah, come on, there's turnstiles free, there's turnstiles free. There was no one doing that. So we got in. Anyway, we eventually we got to the seat, sat down in the wrong seats. Eventually someone came along and said, you're in our seats. So I went back down to the steward and I was like, that's not our seats. Here's my ticket again. Where are our seats? And the steward came with us, took us back to the same place and said, these are your seats. And I was like, no, they're not. These are
There are
not our
people
seats.
sitting in these seats with tickets.
I was like, if these are our seats, you need to tell these people to move. And the steward just went, see that steward down there? Go and ask him. So it was like, right, okay. And so we eventually went to the other steward, showed him the tickets. He took us to our correct seats. People sat in them. And he was like, yeah, you're in the wrong seats. So we got our seats, and then these other people had to move. But then there was people around us saying, yeah, we're currently in the wrong seats because people are sat in our seats. And there was people who saying like, yeah, when we got here, other people were in these seats and we had to get them to move. So it was chaos. So we didn't actually sit in our own seats until 20 minutes into the game.
Good.
So we actually missed Wales's first try.
Mm.
So that was annoying and very disappointing. So I'm not going to go to Ashton Gate again. I'll just stick to Twickenham or wherever else they play. But yeah, other than that, I was very happy with how Cymru played. And Hattie, who I met there, gave me stickers. New stickers.
Oh, what stickers have you got? You're on Blur, so
It's fine. So I got this Scarlet sticker, which I don't know if you could tell is sparkly.
oh yeah, just about as you turn it around. Very nice. Blue sparkles? Or
There we go.
oh yeah, very nice.
And then, and this is the really special bit,
Fabulous, I might say. Hmm. Oh, you got a Thunder.
a Breath on Thunder sticker.
Breath
These
on
don't grow on
Thunder.
trees.
No,
Come on.
definitely not. Did you get the kit as well, or is she keeping
No, I
both
didn't
of
get
them?
the kit. I didn't get the kit. But this is sparkly as well.
Yeah. What's underneath the Brithon? I can't read it.
Underneath. So this sticker keeps trying to make a bid for freedom.
Okay.
But what the sticker says is everything is rugby apart from rugby, which is about class warfare, which is what the sticker says.
Hattie is a very funny woman.
Yeah, Hattie is quite sassy, it has to be said, and we love her for it. So I'm gradually, this is also Hattie's sticker as well, Rugby History Project, and this is Scrum of the Earth. Shout out David.
She didn't give you a pilf.
What?
Oh, that's my favorite sticker that she has. It's a picture of Dan Cole, and it says PILF.
I don't really know where that came from, but okay. She
said
did
it
offer
on
me
a-
a fragile
she's-
masculinity sticker. which I declined politely.
Which one?
A fragile masculinity sticker.
Oh, you got to.
And I got 2 more Britain's Thunder stickers, which I put on my notebook,
Very nice.
my as yet unused notebook.
Well, now you know what to use it for.
Yeah, I was
Just
very
Brit on
pleased because
Thunder stuff.
Britain's Thunder merch
Mm.
is few and far between, so I'm very happy with those. And I was very happy with how Wales played as well, getting the 4 tries. Shout out Sarah and Lockwood getting a try at the end.
Mm.
Happy
Was
days.
that so? Again, like I've said before, I'm really not versed in women's rugby. This is my first year paying attention, I have to say, to like the women's Six Nations. I'm enjoying it so far. But is it the first time Wales have scored a bonus point against England? I
It is the
feel.
first time that any Six Nations team other than France has gotten a bonus point against England.
Okay, wow. So it's these are improvements is the main thing because
Yes, very much so.
everyone keeps talking about you have to set expectations to a reasonable level when you're playing against England.
Yeah, you do. So could someone tell the BBC commentators that? Um, because you would think that it was a goddamn miracle every time that they touched the ball.
Mm, well, so as long as the game isn't happening in Ashton Gate, you'll be back in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
Very nice. Grand. So this is a very long-winded way of saying this is why you didn't see the first half.
And that's why I didn't see the first half of the game.
Mhm.
But I've watched the whole game back on iPlayer since, so I'm not a highlights merchant. I watched the second half, which was very tense, and I was very impressed. Watching the first half back, there were moments. It was almost exactly like the Leinster game. Well, I was watching it, especially in the first half, thinking, I swear we're the better team. I swear we're better than these. And I do think that right now, Leinster lost at the weekend here. But I do
Oh
think
yeah,
that
we could talk about that instead. I'd love to talk now.
broadly, I do think that Leinster and the Bulls are the 2 best teams in the league on balance, all things considered.
Really?
And this is my
Of
new
Glasgow?
theory. This is my new theory with the Scarlets is if we've got an exam that we can revise for, we'll do quite well. But if we have to be street smart, then we don't. So when we play against good teams who you can study in the week and do lots of clips and like dissect them and analyze them and stuff and do our homework ahead of the game, then we're good. But when we play against a team where you don't know what they're going to do, like another Welsh team where you could get anything on the day, then we're bad in those situations.
Can I take that one? So I agree with you, but I want to take that one step further. I believe that one of the things that sets aside Leinster, Bulls, and I will put Glasgow in that as well, is I believe that they have probably the strongest attacks in the league and that they have the ability to attack really from like they're able to launch really good attacks from the middle third, like effective attacks from the middle third.
Yeah.
So how do we combat that? Which I think a lot of teams don't do is because it seems kind of boring and people think, oh, they're high scoring, so you've got to just go all out attack, all out attack. What we've been effective at this season and last against those strategies is kicking and kick deep and kick far and keep them pinned back in their half. Like for me, I thought that's where we really excelled in this game was kicking from hand, from Hawkins, from Murray, and it's what we did really well against Glasgow earlier in the season as well.
Well, it's funny you should say that, John, because it just so happens that I have some clips lined up for us to look at the Scarlets kicking game and see just how bloody effective it was.
And it
So
was bloody effective.
here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So exactly, we kicked long in this game and it works very well. So this is straight from the 6th minute. Blair Murray, who by the way had an excellent game on second watching. I thought he was very, very good without, doing his normal Blair Murray kind of hot stepping and
Yeah.
stuff. I thought it is pure like
Best
game strategy. I thought it was excellent.
best game for months and months, probably since he came back from injury for me.
Yeah. So this Big Murray's big left boot trademark. There's one there. This is Hawkins. Again, this is a 50-22. What a kick this is. And by the way, the lino robs Hawkins about 5 meters here because that definitely bounces out beyond the 5 meter. But
Yeah.
then the line out is taken beyond that. So
It does, and he kicks that in motion, getting the ball when he's not expecting it as well. Like it's really impressive. The bounce is a bit lucky, but the execution is fantastic.
but we score from the line out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Again, Hawkins, another long one, bounces, splits them right down the middle. We did that a lot. There's another one of that later. This one's Hawkins down to the edge, not quite a 52-22, but close. There should be another one coming up soon. Yeah, this is another
Ooh,
Blair
the
Murray.
Joe
This one
Roberts.
actually goes dead, but that's very unlucky. This is very close to being a 50-22 as well.
Yeah.
Another Murray's big left boot up to halfway from his own 22. The Bulls line out wasn't great. The Bulls line out was a bit of a mess in this game. This is another one from Joe Roberts. I'm sorry the screen's gone a bit dark, everyone. This is just how the edit rendered. This is another 50-22, this time from Joe Roberts. Again, left-footed. And then there's a final one, I think, also from Blair Murray. No, there's one more to come from Yohan Jones, actually, which again
Massive, this one.
splits them down the middle. And that just controls territory. And it's one of the reasons that the Bulls only had 3 entries to our 22 in this game. And let's not forget, we outscored them on the try count 3-2.
Yeah, it's the reality is no team wants to play in their own third. That's what it is. And I think the only times that we didn't find grass on our kicks, Pollard called a mark on one, and I can't remember if it was Pollard or it might have been LaRue late on called a mark as well.
Creel did. Creel caught one like Lee Halfpenny
Creel.
style, diving for it.
Diving down. Yeah, it was very nice. Creel it was. Yeah, that was nice. I honestly got a little bit of PTSD watching Andre Pollard take these kicks. It was really putting me back to the 2019 semi-final, which I watched through 2 doors and a window on a computer screen about 15 meters away. Yeah, just generally, obviously we've got the clips there that you've gone through, but I do feel like it's that kicking strategy that kept us in the game more than other elements, and just pinning them back, just giving them as few opportunities as possible to launch attacks. Really was what it came down to for me. And then,
sorry, go on.
No, please.
No, actually keep talking. Actually, I'm trying to find another clip.
I'll do my best.
Queued up, so it could to take a minute.
I'll do my best. But the other aspect I thought, which was really interesting, was in the line out and in the set piece in general. We know that their big attacking platform is the scrum, and I think you highlighted before that we kept them to a very low scrum count. We just didn't give them that option. Where did you come up with that stat?
That came from Rugby Pass, and we gave them 3 scrums in the whole game on their own put-in, which is crazy. Yeah. And there were times when they had a knock-on advantage and didn't take the scrum, which I think their coaches will probably be frustrated with. I think their coaches would have rather they take the scrums because, let's not beat around the bush. The Bulls have got the best scrum in club rugby, in my opinion. Their scrum would take many an international team to the absolute cleaners. And it's phenomenal to watch, even when it's against your own team. Like when I watched Leinster, even though they were against the Scarlets, I was like, God, this blitz defense is incredible to watch. And when it's the Bulls, even against your team, it's like, God, this scrum is incredible to watch. But only to give them 3 put-ins on their own scrum. I mean, they won 3 of our put-ins.
I thought it was really impressive that we kept it that low, to be honest with you. Credit really to Dane for getting the ball out so quickly at times, and obviously the forwards as a unit, because it can't have been easy being under that much pressure and being able to get the ball out quickly. But that saved us so many times. We might talk about different penalties or fouls that might have been or might not have been at some point during the game. But generally speaking, I thought when it came to the scrum, the referee he gave a lot of time to get the ball out, where I think other refs probably would have given advantage already or blown up.
Yeah, he protected us a little bit, but he did protect us. But that is how this refereeing of scrums is these days. So you'll see many, many, many other rugby matches where that happens.
Well, what I mean is, I thought he was very. You'll even see times now where a scrum will go down, the ball will be out, and a penalty will still be given, for example. And I thought he was very good at checking, or maybe his assistants as well were very good at checking when the ball was actually out. which really helped us. I felt I don't think it was. I think it was to our benefit, but I don't think it was unfairly to our benefit. You know, a Bulls fan might disagree, but it's not a Bulls fan podcast. If you want that, go and listen to a bit of an animal, I guess, on the Global Game Line Network.
Yeah, I mean, you
But,
could. Don't have
yeah,
to.
but finish this first. Um, Other than that, I thought we did quite well against them in the line out, in the mall. I mean, Cameron Hanekom, Elrich Lowe, were very good at disrupting our line out as well. I did wonder if maybe Albert Vandenberg has just been has been giving our line out calls in Afrikaans, and then it works perfectly until you come up against a South African team. Because I think that's probably I don't think that our line out really misfired.
No,
But
I think it was
I just thought they
normal.
were really good at countering.
Yeah, no, I thought it was normal. We was chatting before the start of the show. Like, what? Whose fault was it that we lost? If it's anybody's, it's Joe Hawkins for missing the kicks. But that feels a little bit harsh, to be honest. I think everybody played well.
Yeah, I
You
don't.
could also say like, in fact, I might still have this up actually, from doing rewind. I know I don't, but I shall find it now.
I mean,
There was quite a difference in the benches. I shall bring
yeah,
them up. Uh, I'm clicking buttons. I am vamping for time whilst the screen
I
loads.
I have the benches right here in front of me, so
I have them right here in front of me.
oh, I'm never fast enough.
So, subs bench number 16 for us, Harry Thomas, good player. For them, Marco van Staden.
I think there's very little in between those, to be honest with you. I don't think Marco van Staden has had nearly as much time in Super Rugby Cymru as Harry Thomas has.
Okay. Number 17, Josh Morse against Jan Hendrik Vessels.
A previous comment loop. Yeah, I mean, look, do you want? Okay, just go through them all and then make your
Okay.
point.
And then we've got Harry O'Connor up against Francois Klopper. Look, I can understand that maybe some of our listeners aren't as well versed in bulls as I am because I do like a South African podcast and stuff. Take my word for it, they're good. Okay.
How
Uh,
good are they?
Very good.
How many South African caps are there on the bench here?
Ooh. Marco will have the most. Jan Hendrik has a couple, not many. Jack Price against Cobus Visa. Cobus Visa's a good player. Tristan Davis against Mpilo Gumedi. He's a good player. Archie Hughes against Paul DeVette. We win that one. Definitely. Carwyn Leggett Jones against Villy LaRue.
I mean, right
We love
now,
Kaz. We love Kaz.
love Kaz. Absolutely love him. Did you? I mean, on your watch back, did you notice the kick? Obviously, you noticed the kick pass that Willie LaRue had for the try,
It was
the
disallowed.
second try. Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody good rugby that was.
Like it's yeah, they're just it's not even like there'll be talks about you can't even say it's like a budget related thing because obviously the South African budgets you can't really compare because of the strength of the rand and all of these things. Like it doesn't really come down to that. Um it's it just shows that squad depth is really important and it's something that because we haven't had the past few years the sort of stability either financially or the stability that you need from your union for long-term planning like we've had to dip into the academy and since its inception the Super Rugby Cymru League like we've had to use those more than other teams in comparable situations. I mean, obviously, all the Welsh teams have. Um, and then once you pick up too many injuries, and congratulations to the Van der Merwe family that have welcomed their first child.
Oh, was that why? I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, a little girl. So that's why Manus came off the bench, left the 23 at the 11th hour because of the birth of his daughter.
So his daughter's Wales qualified, is what
His
you're telling me.
daughter is Wales qualified. I was saying
No,
this to
no, sorry.
Hattie.
His daughter is Welsh.
Yeah, his daughter is Welsh. Yeah,
Beautiful scenes.
yeah. So I don't know if that's what I said. That's what I said to Hattie. I said that in about probably about 19, 20 years, you can expect to see a Van der Merwe wearing 16 for Wales.
What's her
Um,
story? Sit down. Let me tell you
yeah,
all about it.
yeah. Well, hopefully she'll have. I don't know. Maybe she'll be.
Aren't John Barclay's kids Welsh as well? Or
They
went to
are.
Welsh
They're
schools?
Welsh speaking as well. They went to Welsh speaking school, I think. Um, yeah, so we can have Barclays and Van der Merwe's all coming together. The long and the short of it is that now that we've hit this part of the season, all right, we're not in a space to qualify for the playoffs, obviously, but like those injuries are just hitting us harder and harder, and especially in the forwards. We have depth in the backs. If anything, we have too much depth in the backs. Maybe not a 10, but when it gets to this end of the season, like, what can you do?
Well, yeah. But going back to kind of, we are sometimes good TM. This was a nice bit of rugby that I enjoyed and would have liked to seen us do more of. So we're on the attack. I need to mute it so I don't have the sound in my headphones. Got a penalty advantage. This is a pullback. Goes back to Murray again, acting as a playmaker, and they flash back to the other side. Beautiful long pass. Max Douglas, line break. What's the number one rule of rugby, John? John, what's the number one rule of rugby?
Sorry, I thought it was rhetorical. Play to the whistle.
No, the number one rule of rugby is never let a second row do a line break because it just ends up putting Jared Taylor into touch. He should
Yeah.
have kept hold of the ball there. I interviewed a rugby analyst once, and he said a trend in rugby is that when a low numbers player or forward makes a line break, it usually results in a territory loss, and it's ruined rugby for me because now every time I see a second row make a line break, I'm like, they're going to lose territory here, and they always do, and I'm like, God's sake, just it's completely stolen the magic of the game.
Well, thanks for sharing this curse with me and everyone listening to this. This is what I have to say. I have a note for that which I was very pleased with when I read it back today, which was the Max Douglas line break is the best thing ever. I want it as a GIF on my home screen on my 2009 Sony Ericsson. Yeah, I guess that's very particular. Yeah, it was.
God, you
The
remember that?
pullback is the important thing. The pullback
If you
is
didn't have a Sony Ericsson back in the day, you were nobody.
I had it was a proper red brick, the one that you could make your own ringtones on.
Do you have a flip
Okay.
phone?
No, it was just a solid thing. It was a brick.
I had a phone which only half of it flipped down. It had like a cover over the keypad.
Did the antenna come out the top as well?
No, but it had play, pause, rewind and thing on the front bit, and then it flipped down and there was the numbers.
Hmm.
But a football hit it and it was crinkled.
No, they were the first phones that I could remember I could set a GIF
Did
as
you
the
have a BlackBerry
wallpaper.
Curve?
God, I couldn't do it. So by the way, I'm leaning over because I'm rubbing my dog's belly because he just woke
Okay.
up. No, I haven't just developed a problem. Anyway,
I had
the
a BlackBerry
pullback.
Curve.
Murray
No,
being a bit okay. We can talk. Okay, tell me about your BlackBerry Curve.
I broke it playing air hockey. I was leaning against the table too hard while I was in my pocket and it cracked the screen.
You have to talk because I can't now. You've pushed me too far. I
True
really
story.
like.
And that's what happened to
like.
my BlackBerry Curve.
I really. Do you know what the second most unfortunate curve about in this conversation is Murray accidentally whiffing the ball when he went to clear his lines. See, I
Yeah.
can bring it back.
Uh,
Murray is a second playmaker.
the other thing about the BlackBerry Curve was that the lock keypad button was also the play music button. So you had to press and hold. Whereas if you didn't press and hold for the right amount of time, music would just start playing in class. Whatever song you were listening to.
The
And the whole
fact that
class
you
knows what
said
listened to.
the fact that you said in class as your example. All
I
right.
was in
How
class
many
age when BlackBerry Curves were a thing.
how many songs did you have on your BlackBerry Curve?
Less than 100.
Oh, so you can't. Okay, I can remember all of the songs on my Sony Ericsson, because they were cheap.
Do you remember infrared? Do you remember before Bluetooth there was infrared?
Infrared was wonderful. Yeah, line up your phones 5 centimeters apart,
And
and
spend an hour transmitting half a song before the phone says storage not sufficient for one song. Anyway, back to the video clip that I downloaded onto my MacBook.
do you remember there were computers that had infrared as well? That was
No.
insane. Yeah. I remember not I found one like in a ditch or something. I knew someone who had one, and you could connect it to the phone, and it was obviously useless, but nice to have, I suppose.
Hmm.
I thought using Murray as a second playmaker a bit more like we did last season, if anything.
Yeah, there's a lot about. There's lots of. I'm getting a lot of flashbacks watching the Scarlets at the moment to things from previous seasons. This was also nice rugby TM. So from a kick return, again Murray sizes it up. This is his long kick, but I'm going to show you what happens after it. So Pollard gets it and kicks it back to us. It's felt quicker when I was doing it in real time, but misses touch, and Hawkins fields it. And great, we're in their half now. Let's play. Anderson, who was amazing, by the way, again, because he's just an amazing rugby player. And then we flash back, same side. Beautiful long pass to Tame Plumtree as an edge forward. Again, need to get rid of this bloody thing. And then it doesn't really end up leading to anything. But I like the way that we did that. I like the way that we played. And then can I find this other one? Because it leads us on to a debate. I'm trying to find this other one now. Ah, here we go. It's this other clip. This may or may not have been the one that I intended to show just now, to be honest, but I'm winging it. This was also nice rugby. So Joe Roberts makes a half break, gets a beautiful off to Lousy. Do you
Lousy
remember
does
when
really
Lousy?
well to pick that
Yeah,
up as well.
yeah. Lousy dropped it later on while holding the ball in one hand. Sometimes you can be too Tongan. Anyway, we go through a few phases here. Nothing really that spectacular happens. Joe Roberts had a great game, and we'll come back to that in a second. And then we kind of go for a set play. So it goes to Kems at first receiver. He trucks it up, and then in a moment it's going to go to Hawkins, which is now dinks it over the top, and there's so much space there, and Eddie will be kicking himself that he didn't take that.
Yeah,
He should have really, and that was the bit where he pulls Creel's shirt off that I've cropped out, but that happened in the game as well. Might
yeah.
got a
For
little shrapnel
modesty,
drizzles.
you don't want to embarrass poor.
Yeah,
It's not Jesse, it's David.
David. Yeah.
David, isn't it? Yeah, the winger. Yeah, I when I watched that back, because I remember those two individual actions, and I forgot that they happened at the same time,
Mm.
because it kind of detracts because of what happens afterwards.
Well,
But that little dink over Eddie almost getting it. I have so okay. I'm I'm just going to say up front. Obviously, we all love Eddie James. I think Eddie James is. I don't know if he's the best player we field in our 15, but he's in the conversation as the best player in our 15
yes.
when we have all of our fit starters. Um, I don't think this was his best game. I thought he played well, but by his standards, like a couple drop balls, hard to know how much of that is the pass and how much that is him. Like for that dink over the top, you can't really blame him for it. Um, but I did feel that it wasn't the best we've seen of him.
No, I don't think he's playing at his peak, but he's still pretty good. And I still think even no, if our best center is Eddie James, then our second best center is a slightly off Eddie James.
Hard agree. Yeah.
I don't know, John. It's just when I see Eddie James and Joe Roberts play together in the centers for the Scarlets, 12 and 13, it just feels right. It makes me feel happy and it makes me feel safe.
Mm.
And I'm sorry because it's something that we debated long and hard, and we've gone through the permutations, and I kind of talked myself into EJ13 for a while. But EJ12 and JR13 is just what nature intended. And when we're trying to do something other than that, we're just kidding ourselves. And it's our fault for having two other centers on the books, two other international centers on the books in Joe Hawkins and Johnny Williams, and Max Page coming through as well. Something's got to give, John. I don't want to lose Eddie and Joe. But Joe Roberts is too good of a rugby player to be sat on the bench for the Scarlets.
You're not wrong. Um, and I wonder. I think it was maybe it was a couple of weeks ago or something where we were talking about this, and I think it was you that made the point that you thought that Joe Roberts was our best 13,
Yes.
that Eddie James was our best centre. Was that where you brought up
Yes.
that distinction? And I find it hard to disagree with that. And it's especially like when you look at Joe's form, Joe Roberts' form, this is the problem with having too many Joes. Um, when you look at Joe Roberts' form since the beginning of the Six Nations, I suppose, he's been exceptional. We look back to the Benetton game, he was absolutely fantastic in that game as well. And like
He had so many good moments in this game as well.
he he shows up. He has little interventions throughout the game. He's not always the showstopper, but you'll kind of watch the game and think, oh, that's nice from Joe. Oh, that's nice from Joe. That's nice from Joe. And then you get to the end and you think, okay, what's he done in this game? Don't think he's missed a tackle. He's hit a 50-22. He's gotten two offloads away. He's
Line breaks,
yeah,
half
and
breaks.
not even just he's made line breaks, but he's enabled line breaks as well because his attacking positioning is really good. And then you find it really hard to because Eddie does play 13 well, but he's a different type of 13. And he's more
Yeah.
playing it as a 12.5, if we're being honest.
Yes.
And he does just look more comfortable in that 12 channel.
I don't
Because
think it's
where's he
any
most
coincidence.
effective? When
Yeah,
he's
sorry.
playing 13, sorry, when Eddie's playing 13, he looks most effective on first phase. And like it doesn't really matter what number you have on your back in that situation if you're being used to truck it up. Like it doesn't really matter if you're going in at
Mm.
12 or 13 there. And that's when he looks most effective for us, in my opinion, when he's in 13. So, I don't really have a problem with putting him back to 12.
It's harsh on Hawkins though, because Hawkins isn't playing badly. To he really, Hawkins has got really good distribution, really, really good distribution. I don't think he's got the best. I think the thing that's difference between Hawkins and an out and out 10 at the moment is vision
Mm.
and game reading and stuff. And he spent all of his career playing as a centre, so that's not surprising. But he doesn't have the vision of a proper 10. But he's got his passing and his kick passing and his is all really, really good. There are other fly halves named who shall remain unnamed in Wales who would kill to have the distribution that Joe Hawkins has. Or should anyway.
Um, yeah, his kicking from hand in this game was really, really solid. His kick passing, like you said, in general has been really good. Obviously, well, this is the problem. We said, or you said earlier on, the difference in this game was really the conversions, and you can't really disagree with that. Obviously, if he makes them, the structure of the game is
It's
different.
it's
But,
something that the
you
Bulls had no influence over whatsoever that
know.
meant that they won the game.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Um, but then he nailed two not easy, but not incredibly difficult penalties as well later in the game. So it's hard to say his kicking from tee is a problem because the ability is surely there, so it's consistency more than anything else. Um, and I think having, like we just alluded to, having Murray in more of that playmaker role maybe take some of that vision stress off of him. It means he doesn't have to run the attack completely by himself because he's got someone else outside him that can help with that.
Mm.
Um, Also thinking of other fly halves in Wales when we say that. But
Mm.
um, I think he is still our third best 10, and he is our second best 12. I don't know.
Well,
Where do
is
you?
he our third best 10? Because Nigel seemed to have done a bit of a 180 on the whole Kaz thing, hasn't he? Said where he said that if Sam Costello's not fit, it's Carwyn Leggett Jones o'clock. He's kind of abandoned that a little bit.
I don't think I do think it's probably because he's taking A levels. Like
Yeah, probably.
I do think that's probably the most likely situation. I mean, yeah, okay, sitting on the bench is not ideal in that scenario, but I imagine he's just not making every training session during the week. He's not making film sessions. Like and it's completely understandable. And I'm not saying we should be starting Carwin Leggett Jones now, because you could make an argument that it's irresponsible. Again, he is young. He's doing his exams, and to be honest, I don't really have a problem with how we're playing with Hawkins at the moment. If Hawkins was playing like this over the Christmas break, like if we had the Christmas break now with the form that Hawkins is in,
Hmm.
I think those games go quite a lot different.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think we come out of the Christmas break with a chance of making the playoffs. Ifs and buts, but you know. Um, Other than that, I don't know what else I've got to say about this game. I feel like most of it. Oh, we didn't talk. Did we talk about Tane Plumtree's getting tackled offside? I don't think we brought that up, have we?
No, but we scored immediately after that anyway, so I don't know if it had such a big deal.
No, it's true. I do think it was probably a penalty try. I just think I think if you're running behind if you're running in an offside position behind a player and you know exactly what you're doing in that situation, he knew he was offside. He knew
Yeah,
that he had to tackle him and that the yellow was an acceptable risk.
yeah.
In general, I thought there was a bit of cynical play at times from the Bulls around the breakdown and things like that. But to be honest, if you're not getting called on it by the referee, then you're not going to stop
Yeah.
doing it, and I don't really have a problem with it because I did hear on TV, there was booing at times in the park and stuff. And it's just kind of like,
Mm.
yeah, they are sealing off. Yeah, they are going off their feet. They are sometimes flying in. They are coming in at the side. It's not getting pinged. And if we were doing it and it wasn't getting pinged, I wouldn't have a massive problem with it either, to be honest with you. But yeah, them's the
No,
breaks.
I didn't have a massive problem with the refereeing in this game, to be honest.
No.
Not that I can remember anyway. Um, right.
Do you have anything else to say about it?
No, not this game, I don't think.
Then I think we're probably good to talk about the community section, are we?
Do we want to quickly mention the PRA thing?
The Ospreys and us have been given the opportunity to sign PRA 25 by our generous overlords, the WRU. And what does this mean? This means that we're signed up for a contract which runs until 2030 with the
Does it actually run
WRU.
to 2030? Because this
It
is what I've been
runs till 20,
confused about.
it runs till 2030 and it has a break clause in it that can be triggered for 2028. So okay, I don't this is the thing we're talking about PRA 25 is everyone it's very hard to go through the facts without talking about what people think this means is the issue. So first of all, I just want to read a very quick bit of the Scarlet statement that they put out last week. The Scarlets welcome today's announcement from the Welsh Rugby Union confirming that the club has been offered the opportunity to enter the professional rugby agreement known as PRA 25. We will continue to engage constructively with the WRU on its future strategy with the aim of signing the PRA 25 agreement shortly following due diligence. The PRA 25 update is welcomed as it brings the prospect of increased stability, security, and clearer governance over the next 2 years with greater clarity and a more equitable framework for the professional game. So this has been talked about kind of non-stop over the last week. Do you have much of an opinion on this, Hugh?
Well, we heard rumours of this a few weeks ago, didn't we? That we were going to sign up to PRA 25.
We did.
I
I
think
guess they weren't widely publicized at the time. They were rumors we heard
yeah,
rather
the
than
rumours that we heard, it wasn't in the press, but the rumours that we heard that have turned out to be true. Um, I don't know, man. Assuming that we actually do sign it. I mean, because people forget that people say it's been portrayed by the WRU um, that the Scarlets and the Ospreys refused to sign it last year, and it is true that they didn't sign it, but the story at the time was actually that they were about to sign it, and then Cardiff went into administration. And it was clear to me at the time that Cardiff going into the administration, going into the ownership of the WRU, would have had a massive impact on the terms of PRA 25. And therefore, there had to be a moment of pausing and thinking. And then it was taken off the table. And people have to remember how quickly things changed because the WRU went from Cardiff, the WRU went from trying to force all four regions to signing up until 2030 to saying that no, we can only actually afford two regions. And it's important to remember as well that the WRU chief financial officer has written a blog on the WRU website explaining why PRA 25 is such an unworkable and unfeasible and wrong deal for Welsh Rugby to have. And they've now since reissued it and got them to sign up. My opinion is that I think that it is when by the time we get to 2028, I think that the people currently at the top of the WRU will be gone. I think that at the moment, my gut feel is that the four regions will outlast the current leadership of the WRU.
I generally believe that as well. I think there's been so much chop and change in terms of strategy, in terms of the contracts that are made available to the regions, even even down to who are the bad guys for signing, who are the bad guys for not signing, and the reality is that we have a short window now before the EGM, and for me,
Do
the
you mean
goal
the
is.
AGM? Because the
Oh,
EGM is
sorry, the
big.
AGM. Yeah, the annual general meeting, not the EGM, which happened 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago.
Yeah.
I can't tell anymore. Um, and once the AGM comes and there's a chance to vote in a successor to Richard Collier-Keywood, then I think we'll have. I don't know what direction we go in from that point, but I think we have some direction that we can kind of see what's happening. Until then, I know that I, like a lot of regional fans, are going to be sitting in a sort of state of constant worry about what might happen. Um, but I think if you put a gun to my head and said what's it going to look like in 4 years' time, I would say it's going to be four regions playing in the URC. Um, do you make anything of any of the other rumors that are coming out about what the goal is in 2, 3, 4 years' time?
No, not really. No, I don't make any. There's been so many crazy rumors that were completely false put out by so many people that it's just no point listening to them anymore. I can't remember the last time I heard it. Apart from us signing PRA 25, I can't remember the last time I heard a rumor that was true. And
Yeah,
even that us signing PRA 25 rumor came with other bits and bobs of what they expected to happen elsewhere on top of that haven't happened. So no, I think four regions playing in the URC is the foreseeable.
yeah. And just as a final note to put on that, I think we are like there's so much instability around at the moment, and everyone's hearing something from someone. Everyone's reading something on a forum, or their mate has heard something from somewhere around the corner, or even we've got like, you know, well respected content creators like across the spectrum coming out and saying this is what's happening. And the reality is like no one knows is the reality. And anyone who tells you with any authority that this is what's happening, or so and so has been told this, or PRA break clause is going to be triggered right here, and then we're going to be in the Prem in like 2 years' time or something, and there's going to be one region and three develop, or whatever they're telling you. No one knows a thing, and
I
I'm just
I
annoyed at people saying they
spoke
know
to
everything.
a pro commentator earlier this year at a game, and I said, "What are you hearing?" And he said that every time that he's down in Wales doing a game, he asks people what the latest is, and the only answer that he has ever gotten is nobody knows.
And I think that's the best way of keeping to it at the moment. Nobody knows. And I don't think to be honest, I don't think the WIU knows what's going to
Well,
happen at
at
this
least
point.
when the only thing that's saving Abby Tierney's job, the only thing that's saving Dave Reddin's job at the moment is the fact that the man is basically in hiding. Like he avoids the microphone like the plague. And the only thing that's saving Abby Tierney's job is her willingness to go on camera and say the complete opposite of what she said like a matter of weeks ago. Like that just her complete lack of shame of just to go on and just say, yeah, no, the opposite now. And at least she went on Scrum 5 and was asked the year of turmoil that you've inflicted on Welsh rugby fans for this Cardiff sale, for it to completely fall through, was it worth it? And she said, absolutely yes.
Yeah. It's the thing, it's impossible to interview someone who does not regret any of the words they've previously said. Like if you know that you're going up and it's very politician-y. If you know you're interviewing a politician about something and they have a history of changing their opinion on this, that, or the other, it's quite hard to sort of nail them down if they know that that is going to come up as a topic, because it's perfectly possible for them just to say situation's changed, and that is
But
how
at
I
least
feel about.
how has the situation changed?
Well, that's the
My
thing.
thing.
It hasn't, has it? It hasn't changed. But
In
if
the
you
last
say the
year, it hasn't. In
situation's
the last
changed,
12 months, nothing has changed.
no. Well, no, it has. It's gotten worse. The atmosphere, the tone, everything has decreased. Everything has gotten worse because they've drawn this out, probably looked for the easy way out with Y11. And now I'd say the only good thing that to come out of the process is the Swansea City Council has given everyone a good template of like how to fight this sort of this approach by the union. But like it was never even down to that. Like in the end of the day, it was just whatever reason Y11 went into talks, they went into talks and now they've left.
Well, that's the thing that WRU have said. We have assessed the market and decided at this moment it is not in the best interest of Welsh rugby for us to sell Cardiff. To be honest, I find that scary. Why are they saying that it's in the best interest of Welsh rugby for the WRU to own Cardiff? What does that mean?
I think their suggestion is that the market is not ideal right now, despite the fact that Martin Ryan has gone on the record saying that they would put in another bid. They feel they have a better bid, they have a stronger bid, they have a more enticing bid, financially speaking.
My conspiracy theory, and everybody, this is just my conspiracy theory. This is full tinfoil hat, so feel free to disregard this.
I have tinfoil
I
around.
don't think that they ever would. I don't think they ever truly were going to sell Cardiff.
This has a sticker on it still, so it's kind of tinfoil.
I don't think that
You can say whatever you want. I can't hear you right now because I've put this on over my headphones.
blah
And
blah
it's
blah blah blah.
what?
I don't think that they ever really truly started to, because they started dishing out contracts to Cardiff players a few weeks ago, which meant that there was someone at the WRU who was budgeting for paying this Cardiff squad for at least the medium term, for as long as those contracts were running, because Y11 weren't signing off on those contracts. So I think they were always planning to keep hold of Cardiff. I think unless Y11 were literally just saying we will give you money for no reason.
No, it's worth saying that is like, it's like you said, tinfoil hat time. That's your opinion. I have my opinion as well. Neither of us are saying that we've had like backroom conversations with
No,
people.
no one
This
has
is
told
what
me
we've
that.
heard. No,
No.
no. This is literally just we think this. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And again, this is just my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere along the way the goal was control of a region, because they want the Leinster model from. I think they want the Leinster model without the hassle, and I think directly owning one region does that for them, because they're never going to get rid of Cardiff, and fairly, nor should they really. Like capital city, have a club, makes sense. But the idea that the union owns one club, they're expect and in the and this is the whole reason why the Scarlets took them to court was the idea that the WIU is funding them as the union and as the benefactor at the same time. That there's double funding going on, and that's funding that isn't going to the other regions. Like that is one of the key issues with this PRA 25. And I don't think that question has been it hasn't been answered to my satisfaction, at least. I know I'm not the one that they've got in mind, but yeah. You have anything else to add on this?
No. Shall we do the community now?
Seems about right, because I think the dog wants to go out for a walk.
Okay.
Do you want to take us to the wonderful land of Mart's community?
So here we go then. So the results of the community game, starting off with Super Rugby Cymru, where I believe it was the quarterfinals. Cardiff defeated Carmarthen Quins 50 points to 33, so that's their season over. In terms of Scarlets on show, we had Steph Jack Jones, Gabe McDonald, Yuri Badham, IN, that's a new one, and others.
Oh, I've got to be doing this again, haven't I?
No, come. If you find it, shout up. We're not going to pause. And then Llandovery squeaked past Arche Snee. See, I've pronounced it the South African way for some reason. Arche RGC. Llandovery beat RGC 36-30. Ooh, squeaky time. Dan Germin, Jack Davis, I want to say.
Jack Davis, yeah.
Harry Thomas wasn't actually in that one because obviously he was playing for us.
He was announced on the bench and then had to pull out because of Marnus's.
Tian Sparrow was on the bench. Keanu, think he was on the bench as well. Anyway, so Llandovery progress and Carmarthen do not. Carmarthen Quins. Into the Premiership, Merthyr defeated. Oh, sorry, I should say that next week Cardiff are playing Llandovery in what I assume is the semi-final. Must be. So keep an eye out for that. That's live on S4C. So definitely tune in. Merthyr defeated Llanelli Wanderers 54-26 in the Premiership. And then the Llanelli Wanderers have played 2 games in 1 week. So in the second game, they defeated Brecon 41-20. Narberth defeated Neath 20 points to 10. That is a great result for Narberth. And Ronda lost at home to Llangennech 43-38. So it was a 3 out of 3 on the weekend for the West Wales teams. In the fixtures coming up, Neath play against Llangennech on Wednesday. Llanelli Wanderers host Cardiff Met. Llangennech host Bargoed. And Newbridge host Narberth. Down into Championship West, Crummock lost at home heavily, 61-10 to Aberystwyth. Oh dear. Aberystwyth had a second game this week. They lost at home also to Gowerton, 27-37. Newcastle Emlyn defeated Crummock, who also had a second game apparently, 38-12. And then Tata lost at home to Ammanford, 59-38. Yikes. In the fixtures coming up this week, Crummock host Knaefig Hill, Newcastle Emlyn host Tata, and Tondy host Aberystwyth. Down into Division 2 West. Aberaeron defeated Ponta Dillais. Oh dear, Pringle. 50-0. Gosh. Now, Fishguard lost at home to Carmarthen Athletic. 14-66. And Nantgaredig defeated Pencloud. 33-6. Some beatings handed out in Division 2 West. Whitland host Aberaeron in the upcoming fixtures. Division 3 West, Cardigan defeated Milford 35-27. New Dock Stars defeated Ammon United 26 points to 12. Of course we did. Llandilo defeated Neyland 64-10. Milford defeated Narberth Athletic 43-0. And then there was a try-scoring, rip-roaring bonanza in Tumble as they defeated Ammon United 49-33. 2 games in a week for Ammon United. Upcoming fixtures, Cardigan host Ammon United on Tuesday night. New Dock Stars host Neyland on Wednesday. Haverfordwest host Narberth Athletic on Thursday. And then into the weekend, New Dock Stars travelling to Llandilo. Trimsauron host Milford. And Tumble host Neyland. Division 4 West A. Pontyberyn 72-7 over Llanbydir. Gosh, that is a beating. That is a beating and a half. No fixtures upcoming this week. Division 4 West B. Llandibby lost at home by 1 point to Tregaron, 33-34. An absolute thriller down west. And then Pennybank lost at home to Llangadog, 27-12. Lots of away wins this week.
Wasn't it a Llandubby Tregaron a couple of weeks ago where it was 3-0? So they've had a return. They've made up for it in the
Yeah,
return fixture.
catching up for lost time. The upcoming fixtures: Pont Yates hosts Llangadog, sorry, on Tuesday. Furness hosts Llanabidi on Wednesday, and Llangadog hosts Cyfneuthyn on the weekend. I believe that is. Any others to talk about? Oh, Division 1 West. Bury Port defeated Hendy 54-15. Tenby thrashed Kidwelly. Sorry, John.
Not a fan.
47-19. Larne lost at home to One Eyelids. 30 points to 26. St Clair's defeated Tenby away, 25 points to 7. And Hendy defeated Swansea Uplands at home, 23-17. Upcoming fixtures: Bury Port hosts Tenby and Larne host Vernon Vol. I've already done Division 4 West A, I think. In the women's, Llantarf North defeated Bury Port 31-29 in a close game. Down into the championship, Lampeter are due to play. Oh my goodness, these are the fixtures. They're not for ages. I'm not even going to read those out. We'll do another pod before then. And there's some youth cup as well stuff. I can't. The blood's gone from my head, John. I can't do it.
Yeah. Just before we wrap up the community segment, one thing just to jokes out of the room. Unfortunately, we have some very sad news out of Brenaman, who play in 2 West Central. And Brenaman, unfortunately, won't play their final 2 games after the death of their vice captain, Harry Morgan, who's, of course, cousin of Jack Morgan. So our condolences to everyone at Brenaman, both in the community and in the club. And we're very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thoughts go out to you guys.
So, I think we only have the matter of a derby to talk about. Oh wait, no, one thing. After the community section last time round, we did ask people to put pound coins in. No, I'm talking about this. We got loads of comments with people putting emojis in the chat there.
2, calm down.
No. I counted 6 across different
For
thingies.
crying out loud. People, don't do that. Don't encourage these idiots.
No. This is it. Is there a BlackBerry emoji? Can we put a BlackBerry in for you talking about your BlackBerry curve nonstop? Drop a berry emoji in the chat.
I don't want that.
Drop a berry emoji in the comments, everyone. Hugh doesn't want it. Lee will have no idea. Mark will have no idea what's going on.
Lee messaged me privately, like, "What's this with the pound coins?" And I had to explain.
No. Just drop a berry. Drop a berry in the comments. Nothing wrong with that. So we have 2 derbies.
Do we?
We're only worried about one today.
Oh.
How do you feel about going down to? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm calling
Wales.
it the new Aviva, the electric brew.
They put electric in the title because just to prove everybody that they do have electricity there.
Electric Brewery Field. I want to sing it like is it Yellow? Who sings that? Electric Field. Oh yeah.
We got a lot of electricity. That's Suede.
That's the guitarist in you coming out. I have thoughts about the last season or 2 of
I am glad that this us both signing up to PRA 25 and being around for at least the next 2 years has happened before this game. Because if it was still the kind of a who's going to go imminently, it would have made this game it's miserable anyway. It's such a toxic thing. I don't enjoy it at all. As the admin of a Scarlet's fan account, like the crap that we get from Ospreys fans all the time, and there's going to be Ospreys fans listening to this. There's going to be Ospreys fans in the comments of this. I can't stand it. It's miserable. And I would rather concede a walkover 28-0 and not turn up to the game than be forced to sit through this.
Just because you hate playing the Ospreys, or
I hate watching the Ospreys. I hate playing against the Ospreys. I hate the whole discourse around the Ospreys. I would prefer to if there was a time, and I still might do it, that I thought about just logging out of social media for a week in the build up to the game. That's how toxic it is. I can't stand it.
The thing is, it's not new. It's been like this for a while, but it's been elevated in the last few months, essentially the last couple of years when I go back to it. But
Well, when you've got the Ospreys official social media themselves stoking it and riling up fans for engagement, that doesn't help. When you've got like actual like the CEO of the Ospreys like trolling Scarlets fans on Twitter, when you've got former Ospreys board members trolling Scarlets fans on Twitter, when you've got the Ospreys themselves releasing statements, having digs at our investors, how well did that age? You know, like how they managed to work the Scarlets into all of their player signing videos.
that
And
I like that. Not in the way of, oh, I think that's good fun and it's sort of the I it's the rent free in your head kind of thing. I mean, that's what I enjoy about it. But I feel like for you, the joke is it's gone. It's run its course
yeah,
a long
it's
time ago.
you know, the fact that you have to work the Scarlets into everything that you post on social media, what does that say about the kind of engagement that you're trying to get?
I mean, it's what's the phrase? It's identity in antith. Oh, I can't remember the word now. That's embarrassing. Antithesis and its identity is not as opposition.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
my identity is that I am not this thing and I don't like this thing. And that's what I really can't stand about it because it's something I love the other derbies. I really enjoy the other derbies. Um and I just feel like I go through both the home and away legs of this derby every season kind of wanting it to be done to the point now where I sort of rage watch this on Boxing Day. I just I mean it's not just the narrative around it and it's not just the engagement around it, but it's like did you watch the Cardiff Ospreys game on the weekend? Did you watch the Sharks game?
I didn't watch the Sharks game. I watched the Cardiff game.
Cardiff game was pretty grim. Like
I was
just
just
for tension, it was good, but the what was on the pitch was not.
Yeah, for both our game against Cardiff and for the game on Friday, I was disappointed with the quality of rugby, and that includes us. So I'm not being a hypocrite. Just the level compared to other games. I think we played much better against the Bulls than we did against Cardiff. Yeah, and it's just not good rugby to watch. And this is the thing about the Ospreys is that I can show people, I can go back into the archives and dig out the clips of them playing great rugby and carving people up. And when Mark Jones first came in, the type of rugby that they were playing, and they just don't do it. You know when you watch an Ospreys match, what's the phrase? Don't never wrestle a pig because everyone gets covered in shit and the pig likes it. That's the Ospreys. That's the Ospreys game plan. We are a pig, wrestle us. And they just look to drag the opposition down. They look to they're not looking to beat you at a game of rugby. And all I can say is in the week after the entire rugby community has been calling you cheats online, to then play a game where you give away 16 penalties, get 2 yellow cards, should have been 3 and a red card. You know, I wouldn't stand for the Scarlets playing like that.
No, and the idea that it's always the Ospreys fans that come in to talk about our discipline if we have one yellow card in the game or something like that.
Tame Plumtree, no penalties against the Bulls. I hope
No
he got his favourite
penalties.
doggy treat.
Yeah. And I mean, I was posting this just off the back of having done the interview with him a couple of weeks ago. Was immediately people start coming in and just going, "Oh yeah, no, he's a penalty magnet. Oh no, he's this problem, whatever." Just go. This guy has a lower average penalty per 80-minute count than every single Ospreys back rower who's played more than 200 minutes this season. Like you don't know what you're talking about. Is what anyway, that's the bee in my bonnet. But for me, like you talk about when Mark Jones came in and the style of rugby changed, the Toby Booth era, right? I didn't mind the play in the Toby Booth era because it was like I know he knew what he wanted to do, and he wanted that game plan executed. Don't have a problem with that. What I did, we're in the entertainment business, lads. Every week, we're in the entertainment. No, it's fine. You're playing 10-man rugby. Loads of teams do it, and it's really effective. Own it. Not a problem. When Mark Jones came in and everything opened up, and they were actually playing like really entertaining, engaging, dare I say, West Walian style rugby, everyone I saw said like, "Now this is wonderful. This is fantastic." So don't say out of your ass that you're playing this fantastic brand of rugby every week now, because like you say, it's gone, and you weren't playing it before Mark Jones showed up. So, yeah.
It's not a coincidence. So I did the stats on them today. I looked at the timestamps for when they score their tries. So the Ospreys score 30% of their tries in the final quarter, and the Ospreys are more likely to score in the final 5 minutes than they are in the first 10 minutes. So that just goes to my point of they've got the capability to play rugby, but they only actually start playing when they get to the final 10 minutes and they're losing, and they have to start trying other things and changing up the game plan because they're losing.
Do you think
This
it
is
is
my
that?
this is sorry.
Do you think it is that it's they're losing and they change it up? Because I've had the thought before that what it comes down to more is like it's a grind them down kind of thing, grind them down and flip a switch. But from your point of view,
Well,
it's just
maybe,
it's panic.
maybe if you're giving them more credit, it's that. But that just means that you have to sit through 60, 65, 70 minutes of just dirge to get to that. So
Mm,
I'm not looking forward to this game. I don't think it's going to be a good game of rugby.
it never is. It's never a
It
good game.
never is. Um, and I think that the whole atmosphere around it is going to be completely toxic. Um,
Right. Well, in the way that we think this game is going to go, appropriately enough, I'm pretty sure my dog needs to go and take a shit. So, which I need to go and enable, which I feel is on brand for this. So just quickly, I was looking at the lineup that we had against the Ospreys at Christmas. You know, we had Ball in there, we had Hepburn, Hawkins was at 10, Joe Roberts was at 11, Johnny Williams was at 12, Eddie James was at 13. How much of a change do you think you see from this Bulls game going into the Ospreys game?
I've got no idea what to expect with selection anymore. Absolutely no idea. I'd like to see us pretty much stick with the same team as the Bulls. Maybe. Oh, we didn't say, by the way. Sorry, we should have done. Shout out Cal Woolley getting a try on debut.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I thought he played well. He took his try.
yeah, we should have said that. If Ellis Me is fit, that would be good. Um, no, I don't. I've got no idea what to expect with selection anymore because it does seem to have back to a bit tombolery, especially in the centres,
Mm.
which I don't like. I would like us to just pick centres and stick with them, please.
I think given how well they went on the weekend, I would imagine that we have to see Hawkins at 10 and then Eddie and then
Mm.
Joe
I
Roberts.
don't know who we're going to pick at scrum half. I think the only one that I'm pretty sure of is that we're going to pick Kems at loose head and Lousy in the row. Max Douglas will get selected, whether that's in the second row or at six. Fletcher Anderson will get
Mm.
selected. I don't know what we'll do at scrum half.
He'll captain.
Yeah, I assume I would love. I don't know if Josh McLeod's fit. If Josh McLeod's not fit, it'll be Jared Taylor. They'll probably go for Joe Hawkins. I've got no idea what they're going to do in the centres. And then probably Blair Murray at fullback. I'd be surprised if it's not. I miss Jack Davis.
I wouldn't
Um,
be surprised if we saw Murray on the wing and Yoan Jones coming in fullback. To be honest, I
maybe.
thought he looked good when he came on.
Yeah. And then who knows on the other wing? Could be anybody.
I just hope we keep the same tactics. Like I think the Ospreys do struggle getting out of their half. I think if we kick deep, like it works so well against, no offense, better teams. Why do we not do that more often? Is it because we're so married to the idea of like West Wales running passing rugby? I don't know. But I would like to see us. It's not going to be an entertaining game, like we said. So I would just like to just put them back in their half, put them back in their 22, and just make them figure it out. And for that, I would like to see Murray. I think Yoan Jones, Hawkins was all right there as well. Joe Roberts. As long as we've got four kicking options across the back line, I'm happy.
Yeah,
Yeah. So other than that, I don't think I think we've just about covered it.
yeah. We're not on next week because it's Europe, so we'll speak to you after the Ospreys game.
Yeah, and be grateful. Be grateful that you don't have to listen to us till after the Ospreys game. And then when we do have to review the Ospreys game, light a candle for us and join us
I genuinely might
in.
not watch it.
Say that again.
I genuinely might not watch it
Live or at all?
at all.
So I'll have to act it out to you with finger puppets afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, maybe we will. Well, two hands and a foot. We have to get the
yeah.
15 in there. Yeah.
Shout out to any Scarlets fan who's paid 38 quid to stand on the terrace.
Oh man, don't get me started on the prices of the like. God, I'm all for the St. Helens redevelopment, just so that people don't have to go to the brewery field.
The electric brewery field.
Electric brewery field. I'm not singing it the right tune. Thank you so much for watching, suffering through this with us. Don't forget to leave your berries down in the comments. Go on, look at that face. How can you not want to provoke that? We'll be back in a few weeks after the Ospreys game, so look forward to that in your feed. Until then, I'm sure you can get your kicks with rap on the main channel. So I think the only thing left to say is from me, John Newis. Thank you for joining me, Hugh.
Okay.
And thank you for listening. All right, well, this is what's happening at this point. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you in a few weeks.